Hi guys, Ancient Warrior. Welcome back to Prepping USA. If you like what you hear here, hit the thumbs up. And if you don't, oh well. And if you want to be the first kid on your block to find out what craziness I'm talking about next, just hit that subscribe button with the little bell icon. And you'll be the first notified. Today's 9/11. Yep, folks, it's been 19 years since it happened. We've been in an endless war since it happened. We've got troops still in Iraq. We got troops in Afghanistan. We've got Pentagon officials that want to continue the war. And our Commander-in-Chief said yesterday on the 10th that they were going to start a drawdown. The worst thing in the world is to have our young men and women in harm's way for people who may or may not care if they're free. They've lived under that rule over there for 1,000 years, so that's all they know. They're not people who understand freedom. But that's not what I wanted to talk to you about today. 9/11. Let's talk about what actually did happen on 9/11. Do you remember where you were at? I do. I was getting ready for work. My first appointment was for 10 o'clock that morning. I was sales rep. Excuse me. And I had the idiot box going as I was getting ready. And I was running by the bar in the kitchen. Glanced up at the TV when I saw the second airplane hit the tower. That was the first sign we had a problem. Pentagon knew the problem existed. Folks, don't you ever believe they didn't know. Don't you ever believe that they actually cared. Folks, I'm going to say it. Those who were in charge that day dropped the ball. But let's talk about the people who didn't drop the ball. My hat's off to NYPD and NYFD, police department and fire departments. They were running into the fray. Not a one of them had these masks. Not a one of them had goggles on. Asbestos, concrete dust, and God only knows what else was floating in the air. And those men and women moved towards the problem. The George Washington Bridge, the Trogneck Bridge, every exit to New York City was clogged with panicky New Yorkers trying to get out. People were walking across the bridges. Where was NYPD? They were at Ground Zero. Where was the fire department? They were at Ground Zero. When the first tower was hit, fire units were already up in the building of the second tower trying to get people down. Firemen died that day. You know, they say over 3,000 died. I wonder if that counts the firefighters and policemen. And the death count keeps growing up to this very day. I was just reading, I get the New York Post every day. And I was reading just not too long ago where a police captain had passed away due to complications from 9/11 respiratory problems. People tried to say, well, he died of COVID, and his family came back and said no. He had bigger problems since 9/11. Let's look at what these guys are dealing with today. Those heroes, and I call them heroes for a reason. When there's trouble, instead of doing like most normal people, they run away. Those guys run into it. They're the first ones. If there's somebody shooting, they return fire, but they also try to get the wounded out of the way, line of fire. The fire department, you know, most of us recoil from fire. Firemen, they walk into it. They see it in a different way than the rest of us see it. And they know people are dying if they don't do their job. Same way with a cop. It's insulting to me when I hear liberal yo-yos, and that's insulting a yo-yo. They talk about defunding policemen, defunding this law enforcement agency or that one. Guys, all they're trying to do is get things back to the bad old days. I saw the other day where they said they'd already killed 1,000 people in New York City this year alone. And if I understood it right, it was twice what they did in 19. And 2.5 times before of what they did in 18. Folks, if you see a cop today, even if he's stopping you, thank him. Thank him for what he did. You know, the idiots the Antifa idiots who, I think it was Minneapolis or Seattle one, they were throwing Molotov cocktails at the cops. One of their own crowd got in the way and got his shoes lit afire and his legs. Antifa didn't help him. Black Lives Matter didn't help him. A cop with a fire extinguisher ran over there and put him out. That shows you dedication. And the whole time those people are trying to kill him. Then, this morning I was looking at the New York Post, and they was talking about the rioters that went crazy last week. There were like 6 of them there. Every one of them from a well-to-do poor family, if not rich. Folks, we got to put an end to this. You see, we've got to honor the 9/11, the people who died at 9/11, the cops and firefighters who have died because of 9/11. We have got to honor them by standing up to Antifa, Black Lives Matter, the new African Black Panther Party, and whoever else the hell, wants to come across against this country. We need to stand up against them. And tell them, this is God's country. You shall not destroy what he hath built. Say a special prayer when you say your prayers tonight or today. Ask God to bless every cop in the world. They have a hard job. Ask him to protect every cop, every firefighter, every EMT. Because one of the big things that some of these clowns like to do is to create a problem and then start shooting at the firefighters and the EMTs. Be blessed, my brothers and sisters. For the day of reckoning is coming. You see, they've threatened this country. The left has said if you don't vote for Biden-Harris, then we're going to riot. What they ought to be meeting, every city ought to have 1,000, 1,500, 10,000 patriots ready to do whatever has to be done to stop it. We need to quell these idiotic riots. I listened to a woman the other day cry, a black woman, whose restaurant was destroyed in Portland. And she wasn't going to rebuild. She said, I'm too old for this. Just remember, folks, we need to honor the men and women who were killed, the men and women who ran into the fires and the smoke and the debris. We need to remember them. We need to ask blessings for their families. And remember, folks, it's better to have and not need than need and not have. Be blessed. Hug your children or your grandchildren or whatever it is you got, your puppies, cats. Fish don't really like you to hug them. Let the people around you know how much you love them, because you never know what tomorrow holds. Be blessed and have a good day. I'm the Ancient Warrior, and we're out.